Happy Friday, loves. I just saw the coolest exchange and I just wanted to talk about it. I was out somewhere this morning. I had to stop and get gas and stuff, and then there was a guy ahead of me. I didn't say anything. I was not involved in this whole thing that came down, but I watched it. I was in line behind a guy, and he was kind of rude to the cashier. Cashier was an older lady, very composed, very kind, very calm, and he spouted off something. I wasn't even paying attention, but I heard his tone, and that's when I clicked in and I dialed in, and I heard him say something like, it's his kind. He was finishing a sentence to her, and then he's like, "It's ridiculous," and he was just rabid on her. And she asked the question. She was like, "Well, is there anything else I can do instead?" And he said something over the top. It was just like, "You could do your job," or something. I was still kind of looking at her. And here's the interesting part. He said that. And when people say something that rabid at us, we immediately pop back, right? We retort. We're just, walls are up. We're ready to fight. And I watched this woman, and she had her hands out over the register. And when he said that, she just looked at him, didn't smile, didn't sneer, didn't anything. She just held a straight face and held eye contact with him, and just put her hands folded in front of her on the counter and looked at him like this. And she calmly waited, and she seemed unconcerned, unfazed, and unmoved. She just waited. And after the longest awkward silence I have ever seen, he apologized. He was like, "I'm sorry, that was something of me," or whatever. And he said, I have something else on my mind. And he went through and jabber, and to me it was complete BS. But she was very gracious, and she's like, "Everybody goes through it. Is there anything else I can do?" And he said no. And he paid, and he left. And I went over there and I said, "Happy Friday," and she's like, "Happy Friday." And she was very sweet. And I did my purchase, and before I left, I told her, I said, "You're my hero today. I hope you know that." And she smiled, and she was like, "Happens every day." And that was it. You're my hero today, lady, whoever you are. Made me think that when somebody comes at you, your composure during times of diversity and stress, your composure. There is scripture. It says, well, I was going to read it, and now my computer screen just went blank. But the one I remember is, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. Don't be afraid to pause and stop and take a moment and let everybody reflect. But if you shoot back right away, it's almost like you're giving that other person ammunition to start the war. And you know what I'm saying? Isn't that right? Somebody gets crazy on you and says something out of this world, and you're just like, "I can't believe it." Don't act shocked. Don't act angry. My sin is I act arrogant. I usually start to smile and like, "All right, it's on. Let's fight." No. Fold your hands and let each person have a moment, including yourself. You'd be amazed how effective silence can be. I know it would affect me profoundly if I said something stupid and the other person just did not respond. I was almost sympathetic toward that guy because I was like, damn, That woman's got him in her clutches right now because she was just looking at him, staring deep into his soul. And whatever her faith was, if it was the power of God, that was really breaking that man down. When you just look at somebody and stare deep into them and make them realize how absolutely crazy they sound, they might come around. They might not. But that moment, you help them realize that it's on them. Then, as the rest of the other scripture goes that I was looking for, don't let the sun go down on your anger. Right? If you guys can tell me which scripture it is, because it's still not coming up on my computer, hey, comment it below. But you can Google that phrase and be still and know that I'm God. That scripture sums up what I saw today. So, lesson learned. Love you guys. Love each other. Stay salty.